Okay, recording.
Thanks to you, I had to spend the whole evening alone in this house with Helena Bonham Carter here.
Well, lovely.
I love Absolutely Fabulous. It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
I also love the idea of spending the evening with Helena Bonham Carter is a bad thing.
Yes, well, to Patsy, that would be a bad thing, apparently.
Alright then, to each their own. Anyway, hello everyone, welcome to 2K's Dragcast, a show where we talk about just random drag shit.
Ah, yes, random drag shit. Or as it's called, random drag shit.
Yes. Anyway, I'm Guy Smith, that's Andrew B. We're here to talk about the... Well...
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm Andrew B anymore. Who knows? Maybe I'm mentally insane in some crazy hospital.
Oh, maybe you're the one in the hospital. Ooh. Ookie spooky.
Oop. Yes, poopy, oopy, spoopy, goopy, goopy, goopy.
Goopery.
Ding dang dookery.
The Dragula goopery, boopery, spoopery, booloopery.
Anyway,
yes.
We are on now to season 3, episode 6, Haunted Hotel.
Yes. And can I just say the intro scene for this was very weird?
It was something, to say the least. They're performing surgery on themselves because, they have to stay beautiful, don't you know?
And they have a severed head.
Well, who doesn't? I have like 2 or 3 laying around. Just the pretty decorations,
Yes.
Got one on the chandelier, one on the back of the toilet. They're beautiful.
You're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you look like a disembodied head.
You look like a disembodied head. I knew you were going to say that.
You look like Madame Leona, except not in a crystal ball.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, so we start in the boudoir as always. There's a little bit of conversation about stuff.
Wow, so detailed.
Yes. Stuff as to what happened last episode? And it's been so long, I barely remember what they were talking about, nor do I actually care.
Yes. You should go back and watch it while you're doing this then, but...
Well, I tend to skip through the episode and read some of the subtitles. Just some.
Yeah, that sounds like you. But anyway, what happened in the boudoir, the most interesting thing was Dollya being a whiny little bitch as usual. Dollya is an annoying little prick, but she seems nice off the show, so I'll give her credit there, but... she does not put on a good on-show persona for me.
No.
She's complaining about Hollow, as usual, and Landon stepping in to defend Hollow. Very nice and very good. We love Landon Cider in this house. We stand Landon Cider in this house. I'd play the Lady Gaga gif right now, but I'll do that later when we get to the floor show.
Yes, because Landon does do talented, brilliant...
Very great.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Let Lady Gaga do it.
Anyways, welcome to the operating theater today. We are going to have a medical, haunted hospital episode.
But it takes place in an actual haunted hospital. It's a photo shoot in the haunted hospital, and then it'll be a floor show afterwards with the looks that they were using.
Other way around, babe.
I thought it was the shoot first. No, they go do the shoot first, but then they do the floor show. They show the pictures after the floor show, but they do the...
They show them taking the pictures after the floor show.
Do they? I thought they
yes.
did. I thought they should go... No, I have to go back and see.
I'm watching the episode right now, babe.
Oh, he's watching the episode right now. Isn't he special?
Well, watching. More like I currently have a standstill of Dragula saying, "Welcome to the operating theater, my little mutants." But first, we have 2 guest judges. One of whom is a child.
She played a child in the movie Hereditary and did a great job. Hereditary is a very good movie. Y'all should go watch that movie. I mean, Toni Collette honestly deserves every award she's ever gotten and deserves 1,000 more. I love her to death. And the kid was good too. Got her head clopped off, which also is how our Lady of the Evening this week dies, is a very recreation of that scene in Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes, but then our other guest judge is Paige Owens of Alternative Press.
The winner of this week's challenge will also get a featured spread in Alternative Press.
So it's quite interesting to see more journalists and such on Dragula as opposed to Drag Race, because most of the time they're like fashion designers or celebrities, singers in the guest judge panel.
Yeah, anybody pop related or
what have you.
Yeah.
Anyways, now it's time to dim the lights, let the floor show begin. Oh, although, to be fair, I guess we didn't go over the Boulets looks.
Yeah, I know. I was starting that, and then you were like, oh, but we have 2 guest judges here.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to get through the guest judges because we forgot that one episode. Though, to be fair, we didn't care about them.
You didn't care about them.
You said you didn't care about them. You only care if it's the ladies or the queens.
I never said such words. And maybe I did, but I didn't.
Or at least you agreed when I said that. You're not fighting. You're not arguing.
I honestly just zoned out, so...
Okay. Anyways, can I just say, the Boulets look like their wigs are a cut in half dead dandelion. A dead, blackened dandelion.
How do I feel about this? I know exactly how I feel about their look. And that stupid dandelion hair, if I can get it. It's very, I would say it is very Haunted Hospital, though.
Yeah, it has a silhouette.
Haunted, just maybe very haunted.
Mm-hmm.
It's very haunted.
Their hair is a hat.
It's
And it has dangly bits too, even though the rest is all up and sort of curvilicious.
For their look this evening, they get a...
It's what she deserves.
It's what she deserves.
Okay, then.
I do like the look that, I will say I do like the look, the little dress that, what's her name? I honestly can't remember her name at the moment, but the little girl from Hereditary. It's a very nice...
Millie.
Yeah, Millie. It looks very, kind of Baroque, very like that Victorian era look, doesn't it?
A bit, yeah.
I always like any sort of Victorian-esque look, honestly. Anything that's like reminiscent of that era.
Yes.
The era itself is garbage because of a lot of things, but I love the fashion and the designs.
Yes. That is why A Gay Victorian Affair is one of my personal favorite web series I have ever seen, and I cannot wait for the eventual season 2.
Speaking of Gay Victorian Affairs, might I direct everybody that's over 18 watching this, please go watch the new men.com series, A Tale of Two Cock Destroyers. Starring the cock destroyers themselves. It's also got Johnny Rapid, which is kind of annoying because he's a stupid prick and I wish he would, kind of just jump off a cliff. But still, it's got the cock destroyers and they're fucking iconic.
Yes. And of course, it's a men.com series, so you know it's going to be hilarious but terribly acted, which makes it all the funnier.
Well, it's not... The problem is it's terribly acted by the men because they don't know what to do other than fuck. But
True.
The Sophie and Rebecca, actually, I saw the trailer that showed no sex, which is like fucking shocking for a men.com ad. But it showed no sex. But it showed a lot of the acting. Rebecca and Sophie do a great job as actresses. It's the men that are like, oh, I don't even know. I just here for that. Like, shut up and let the ladies act.
True. I mean, the acting for the right in front not in my salad moment was incredible.
It's just, ugh. Anywhoozle, moving on to our first look of the evening.
We have Madeline Hatter. Oh boy, how do I feel about this look?
So, I have to say this. I love Madeline Hatter. I wish Madeline Hatter had stayed instead of... well, Dollya was never in the bottom, except for that one time when they switched out Madeline for Dollya, and that would have been a lot better. But Madeline is good television. Madeline is just fucking... Oh, I love Madeline on television at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Her looks, on the other hand, are a completely different story, but I don't care. It's almost a very... I remember All-Stars too. It's okay because you're Alyssa. Because she has those Alyssa-isms. This is very much the same thing of those. It's okay because it's Madeline, and I love Madeline. but I.
She's not as kooky as Alyssa, to be completely fair.
I disagree.
But she has a very good personality.
I fully disagree. She is kooky in her own way, and I love it. But I will admit, the look, I understand what she was going for, but the look itself and the execution were very... meh.
I will say, the start of the look was very good, but then she took off the outer jumper, or jumpsuit, sort of. The outer jumpsuit has a red cross on it, and a bunch of blood splatters, and then the inside was mostly clean, and then she started taking it off, and it was like there was just blood on the inside.
It was like, it reveals, it's like, so pretty and clean, and all of a sudden, blood.
I mean, there was already blood on the outside, but then it was pretty and clean, and then it was just more blood. I didn't really get that.
She's entertaining. The look was not that great, but she's entertaining.
Yeah, that's why it's really a meh.
That's really all I have to say about that. Moving on.
Next up, we have Ava Destruction.
Ava. What was this look again?
She had a bunch of growths on her, and I felt like Ava was a growth on this episode.
Now that's rude, ma'am.
I'm kidding. It was a strange look. It wasn't played out very well, I feel like. It could have been maybe done a little bit gorier for the haunted gory hospital flick. Because a lot of those tend to be very visceral, very gory. This would have been a great moment for that. So far, most of the challenges have been, they've been trash, they've been D&D. Some have been a little bit glitzy. This would have been a great gory moment for, well, honestly, most of them have a gore factor.
Yeah,
but...
I thought this would have been something she would have... I thought this would have been a great gore and something for her, but...
Yeah, it was just a couple of growths on her arm, a little bit seaming on her stomach and her head.
I'm really trying to... I can't find anything, and I'm so upset. I'm so upset that I can't find something that says... Because I was trying to look for a video that says, I don't remember... Like, I know there's Mariah Carey. I don't know her. But I wanted something like, I don't remember her, because I don't remember her in this challenge. I really don't.
Maybe. I bet there's many race chaser clips of that. I don't remember what she wore.
I doubt it, but I'll just...
There are times when Alaska or Willem forget.
Oh, I'm sure, but they just go like, that's a messy man or something. I'll just go with the old and true. I don't know her.
Fair enough.
I didn't remember. Anyway, next.
Louisiana Purchase.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put it in a blender, shit on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it.
This is the last time she's gonna be able to get this, so I'm damn well gonna give it to her.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. I did really love this outfit.
As did I.
I only just realized that she has different colored eyes. She has a bit of gore, red gloves.
She's a bloody candy striper, and which I remember there was a horror movie made about that, if I remember correctly, which makes sense.
What?
A horror movie made about candy stripers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but I remember it. But it's everything. I love it. I love it. She's gorgeous. She's horror. I love it. Unfortunately, everything goes. By the time this comes out, we're just a teensy bit behind.
Yeah.
The next 2 episodes have already come out, and unfortunately, it does start to go downhill for her from here. Even though, well, I shouldn't say it goes downhill in her positions, but I will say, and I'll reiterate it in the next episode, she should have at least been low, if not safe, for the next episode, because I don't think she did badly enough to end up in the bottom next episode. I'll reiterate it again in the next episode, but yeah, so it doesn't necessarily go downhill, but it starts. Because she's literally was low episode 1, and everybody kind of, because I remember in the server, everyone was talking about, like, oh, we don't need to see any more of her, blah, 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 even though I loved it. I was probably one of the few people that loved episodes 1 looked. And then literally episode 2 on has literally just been high, 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 high.
She's just always been good.
And it's fine, and I love that because I love that. Everybody, when the promos first came out, I remember everybody was sort of like, she might be first out, she might be something, she won't be that far, and then look where she is now, and it's just like, ugh, I love that.
Yes. I do like Louisiana Purchase. I will say as well, it looked like she was about to eat that organ that she was holding. She had a cart full of organs, and I think this is another bloody tampon moment. I don't know if you can show that on TV.
Who knows?
Without changing ratings.
I hope the rumors are true that they'll go with Netflix for the next time, and I hope the rating change. I want TVMA, not TV-14. That's another reason people are complaining about, it's not as gory, it's not as... That's because because it got a TV-14 rating this year instead of what it used to be.
They got a TV-14 rating?
Yeah, TV-14 rating this time. I want TVMA next time.
I wonder if that was so that they could get a specific time slot in Canada, so that it would be at the start of the primetime block.
I'm wondering if it was to just secure Amazon. I don't know, but
it might have been.
The point is, I want MA next season, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, this is a gory horror drag competition.
Literally.
Horror movies almost always have that PG-13 or R rating, specifically for the gore, violence, sexual aspects. They literally had a stripper episode. There is no way in my mind that should be viable for a TV-14 rating. Well, I'm generally quite loose on that sort of thing. Honestly, just go for the fucking M rating. MA or R rating, whatever. But yes, I did quite like Louisiana's look. Next up, we have the big brain, Landon Sider.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put it in a blender, shit on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it.
Yep.
It's what he deserves.
Yes.
I wish I could find the Kim Kardashian clip of just, it's what he deserves.
Mm-hmm. That would be great.
Yes, it's very mad scientist, doctor, big brain, adding a brain onto your own brain to gain smarts, which isn't how that works, but who cares?
I think it's actually like brain growth serum or something.
That's a possibility.
Landon has some wires and stuff going through it as well. There's an oxygen tube. Like, I literally need so much air, I can't have enough intake from my diaphragm, which is what some people who have organ transplants need.
I just fucking love the entire look. And then what was the comment about the book? That the book was spelled incorrectly?
Oh, yes. Intelligence has 2 L's, but it is spelled with only 1 L.
Which I thought was quite funny.
I thought for a second, when I saw that, I thought, oh, it's spelt wrong. Is this a joke about doctors having terrible handwriting? Because if that were the case, that would be perfect.
Well, I just thought it would be maybe, like, intentional. Well, I thought it was more intentional just because it's, like, the big brain. It's, like, super smart, but then it's like, guess what? The book is spelled wrong because maybe you ain't so smart.
Yes.
Like, I thought it was more like that, but...
I thought it was the idea of there is a fault in basically everyone. This person, or this sort of mad scientist, mad doctor's character fault is striving for perfection in everything, but then not looking at the small details or what the details of those results are.
Right, but when asked, they were like, nope, it wasn't intentional, which made me laugh, so meh. Anyway, next we move on to...
the leech girl herself, Dollya Black.
I'm kidding. This one was actually a pretty decent look, but I still don't care either way, because it was definitely something you'd probably see in a haunted hospital, or maybe even like which was the one that didn't take place in a hospital, but a lot of stuff was, I think was it Silent Hill 1 or 2?
Isn't that in an insane asylum?
I thought it was some sort of haunted, or some part of it was in a hospital, I feel like, at one point. I'll have to go back and look. But my point is that it's very that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like something that would definitely be seen in a Silent Hill game, but very like haunted. It did its job.
Yes.
I thought it was good. It was fine.
Although I will say, I didn't like the leech prosthetic on Dahlia's arm. That looked weird to me.
You didn't?
No.
Well, I mean, how else would you have gotten the leech part along, though? I mean, it's very it was almost reminiscent of who was it? Sharon Needles on season 4 when they did the boat look, and she had that green snake on her arm. Do you remember that?
No, I don't think I've actually seen that episode yet.
Really? I'll have to go back and show you that.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen a lot of Drag Race, babe.
I always forget that. I was the one who introduced it to you, and I still haven't shown you enough. We'll have to fix that. Anyway.
If I had been doing this, I would have done something a lot closer to my normal flesh tone. I would have done small pieces of prosthetic or texture prosthetic just on top of my normal skin. Like it's integrated into my flesh in various places so that it's not an entire arm. Maybe I would have done something just on my hand so that it's just like the end is a leech.
Okay,
but not the whole arm.
Yeah, I see that.
Something with more texture and depth. Something more eye-catching than just the entire thing being a leech, which, again, in my opinion, looked very trunky. It looked like an elephant trunk to me.
I get that. I think she would have been better off being safe. I don't think it was very worthy of a high, honestly.
Neither do I.
That, in my opinion, it was fine. I think it did work for Haunted Hospital. I agree with that. I just don't think it was... It could have been executed better as far as the arm, but as far as the actual, like, if you take the arm off and, like, look at the rest of the look as a whole, I think it works.
It does work relatively well. There are leeches just about everywhere. Which was an old medical practice. Instead of just bleeding someone with a razor, you would put leeches on them.
Right. Anyhoozle.
So, next up, we had Priscilla Chambers with a dead calf.
Stillborn calf. This was interesting. That's the word I will use for that. I think this look could have been executed much better than it was.
I would agree.
I think that was definitely the main problem with this look. It was not executed as well as it could have been. But I liked the concept. This was definitely more of an execution problem because I do like the concept. Mad cow disease, very like hospital insane patient, sort of like that. I get that. I understand it. I just think, and it happens a lot with, I think a lot of these, it was a very ballsy choice, and unfortunately it did not pay off.
No, yeah. Also, the fact that this is a stillborn calf is just going to show how strange TV networks and ratings are and how ridiculous they can be.
I mean, I'll say this: you'd never see this shit on Drag Race, and that's why I love Dragula. That's why I'll always love Dragula. I love Drag Race, and there are many things about Drag Race I love, but Dragula has always been more inclusive of queens and kings and bio queens, APAP queens, any type of queen that, unfortunately, Drag Race just wouldn't even look at twice and be like, oh, yeah, okay, goodbye, we don't need you on our show.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing I really hate about Drag Race, is that they don't, oh, look, you're a pretty queen, and I don't know, it's just, get your priorities together, Drag Race. Put some goddamn kings and queens and trans queens and AbFab queens and bio queens. Put some goddamn other queens on other than some normal fucking drag queens. It's just, whatever.
The most inclusion right now that we have is past queens who have come out, maybe even while they were in the middle of the competition, or after, and as trans, or the bi queen that we have in Drag Race UK.
And that's not even, unfortunately, that's not even really, it's just...
That's not even the main Drag Race. That's the offshoot.
Yeah, exactly. It's the offshoot. It's UK. That's the thing. People aren't even paying attention to that. The only thing they pay attention to is the fact that she's like 19, and they're like, oh my God, she's 19 years old and she's on Drag Race, because liquor laws are different. That's the whole reason people understand, like, why is it only 21? Because it's all about liquor laws.
Uh-huh. You have to be able to drink.
And the way things work in America, that's why you can't have it. But that's why, that's in UK and Thailand, too. And probably Canada, now that I think about it, because Canada is 18, so that'll be interesting. Ooh, that could be fun. Canada could have some 18 queens. That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to that when that eventually airs.
Yeah, that'll also be interesting because if you didn't know, for certain Canadian TV shows, in order for them to be aired as part of a primetime airing schedule, network has to have like a certain percentage of Canadian-made TV shows.
And guess what? RuPaul won't have she won't have anything to do in this show. She won't even be featured, as far as I know, which is pretty fucking interesting.
Well, all the guest judges will have to be Canadian in that case.
Ooh, that will be fun. Well, I'm sure they have plenty of Canadian. Or maybe they won't. Watch them not have a single Canadian. Watch them not have a single guest judge. It's literally just the judges every single week.
Filming is crazy and weird. There are tons of weird laws and stuff. And honestly, the movement to the internet age means that we can get around a lot of those.
Not really.
Well, we can get around some. And not be afraid to push up ratings. Like, rating level to, like, MA, I'm still reeling about the fact that this is considered TV-14.
Well, it is.
But you know what? I'll take it.
We need to move on.
Yes, we need to move on. Although we have gone through all of the queens. Now we go over their photo looks. They show Landon getting his photo taken first. Landon's photos are very, very good, in my opinion. They very much emphasize shape, form, the prosthetics, the sort of insane facial features. It's real good.
Yep, I agree.
And pink sludge. Pink brain sludge.
Pink brain sludge. Yummy.
It's brain food.
Great look.
Considering Landon actually eats some of that, yes.
Delicious.
Delicious and nutritious. Next we have Louisiana getting her pictures taken. I can't believe I never realized that her eyes were two different colors. It's honestly very creepy horror girl, pinstripe girl. Could have been done a lot scarier in my opinion, but it was done, I think, relatively well. But I can see why she didn't do so hot in the Boulets ratings. Still, there was some very nice photography taken.
Yeah, agreed.
Then next we have Ava's look. Ava looked much better in the photographs than on the floor show, in my opinion. Although you can see that her tights looked very pink. They looked like they were stained pink instead of red.
Yeah, I definitely think the photo shoot is probably what saved Ava, because the photo shoot definitely makes... Yeah, I don't know if it fully makes up for it, but it looks a lot better than what was shown on the main stage.
Yes, it might have been the lighting of the stage, it might have been the fog effects, it could have been how she was acting on stage. I don't really know. But here you can tell that those tights are not stained red with blood, they're stained violet pink, which, is something you usually want to avoid, but that's just my nitpicking on the polish. To be fair, this is episode 6.
Yeah.
You should really be getting your polish done at this point.
At this point, we're in the top 6? Yeah, top 6. I mean, granted, we only had 11 queens, but still, top 6 is still very,
Yeah, you've survived multiple episodes.
But I mean, granted, you should always, there really shouldn't be, to say there shouldn't be an excuse, everybody should always try to be as polished as they can be, even if it's episode 1. Just try to be the best queen, king, whatever that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's most important to me.
I can also see that there are some, I think those are meant to be bruises, maybe? Infections? They look like bruises or infections, but they look like tie-dye spots. I'm not gonna lie, they look like someone pulled up a puff of the fabric, tied a rubber band around it, and sprayed some tie-dye solution on it. Yeah, from this angle it doesn't look that good. But yeah, anyway, Priscilla.
This unfortunately did not work in the photo shoot either, I don't think.
I think it looked worse on the photo shoot.
Yeah, and I agree with the judge's comments. It's possible that the cow overshadowed Priscilla. Or the calf, I should say.
I know. Yeah, the stillborn calf overshadowed Priscilla for sure.
Unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Then we have Madeline Hatter, who did not have a very strong photo shoot.
Well, what can I say except shit happens.
Her biggest thing was her clawed hands, slightly demented expression, and a syringe.
Yeah.
Which she just squeezed into the air. She also had a cigarette.
Because smoking kills. That's the scariest thing of them all.
Old-timey smoking nurse. Just health professionals destroying theirs and killing their patients.
Or doctor, I think she said. At least that's what I thought she said, is that she was like a doctor who went nuts. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah, she was a doctor that went nuts. Although, again, her outfit made me think of a nurse first.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I thought that's what she said, is that she said she was like a... It did look kind of nurses. I wasn't making sure that she said she was like a doctor who went nutso. Which I did not really get that from her look anyway, so...
Yeah. This is another execution problem that Madeline has.
But I don't care, I still love her. She is entertaining and just all around fun for me. It's just enjoyable, ugh.
If you don't think about her looks too hard, some of them are okay.
Well, some of them were quite good. I mean, I loved...
Yes, that's true.
I liked her Dungeons and Dragons look, even if the thing overshadowed her. I liked that trashy look. That was pretty good.
True.
But anywho.
Then we have Dollya taking a photo, and this is really where I think the leech looks bad because the teeth look really fake and garbage and that arm looks overly bloated. And you can tell there's an elbow in there, which is one of the drawbacks I have with those sort of prosthetics that take up your arm because they have to follow your joints. She didn't give too many poses on camera, but you can see where all the leeches are, how there are more veins painted on, sort of like purple dying skin because there's not enough blood flow, all that, and it's very cool. Although I didn't get the random blue.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
It looked cooler on the floor show because it looked just like the lower half of her mouth was bruised and turning blue-purple because of oxygen deprivation because there was a leech, or there were multiple leeches there.
Which does make sense.
But in the light, it's actually blue. It is not just purple, it is straight-up blue. And I don't get that. It's very strange.
She's been having some Smurf dick.
Yes, she leeched on some Smurfs. I know, I love that you came up with
I mean, it's
that.
just, you think it's like Blue Lips. It's like, well, she could have either been out in the cold or sucking on a Smurf.
Yep.
Or something
Or
else
like
that's blue. What else
a
is blue?
Smurf blue lollipop.
Yeah, or yeah, I was gonna say, what else is blue? What other character is blue that she could have been?
Blue from Foster's Home?
The genie from Aladdin, maybe.
I don't think his spunk would be blue, though.
I mean, he's a genie. He could probably make it rainbow colored if he wanted.
Yeah. Maybe he would avoid producing any just so that there's no chance of creating some sort of weird leech genie child.
See, that's taking it too far.
Well,
You know, I can say you can suck off a Smurf, but when you go into a genie leech love child, that's too much.
okay then.
We must have a level of decency on this podcast. Damn it! We can talk about sucking off Smurf dicks, but we cannot talk about genie leech love childs. We must have a stopping point.
We can talk about someone with mad cow disease giving birth to a stillborn calf.
Yes,
but not about a genie leech love child.
that's correct.
Okay.
I'm glad you understand.
Oh boy. This lineup has a lot of red and white,
Which makes sense for a hospital.
Yes. Then there's the blue and the pink, which is just like that offset.
Which is just there.
Yes. There's a bit of tongue popping. There's talking about the looks and everything. We have our winner first.
And Insider! Yay!
It's what he deserves.
It's true. And then we have our two bottoms in the first really good extermination challenge of the entire fucking season. Madeline and Priscilla must take body parts out of a cadaver and try not to get shocked in a giant game of Operation. Oh, it's so much fun. This is my favorite extermination of the entire season.
So basically what happens is they have a giant table with a outline of a body drawn. Around the table there are 5 parts, I believe, and they have to take all of them out without touching the chicken wire with their little metallic tongs. And it's very tight fits, of course. They have a shock collar on their necks that whenever they touch the side, someone off to the side will click whenever they see a little light turn on or whatever they have. And it just, shocks them, which is just lovely. It's not even turned up on the full setting we learn next episode, which is a little scary to think. Like, oh, it could have been turned up further? You were almost fucking crying over the feeling of that voltage. And we do that to dogs?
I don't even...
That just seems cruel. Still. Anyways, Priscilla powers through. Madeline Hatter seems excited to be done, but then wakes up in the back of a car.
And gets her pretty little head chopped off, except not chopped off, more just hits a tree and then it goes flying off.
It's decapitation by tree limb. She did the stupid thing and stuck her head out the window.
Hey, it all happens.
Yeah. Although, what else are you gonna do when a boule is driving you at high speeds somewhere? Where would you wind up going? To another vat of acid? To be knocked out again and shoved off a bridge? Who knows?
I don't know. Any hoozle.
Yes, so that is this episode with a lot of shit thrown in from mostly me.
Yes, it was. I'll have to talk double loud in the next episode.
Oh boy. That should do it from us. Thank you so much for listening in. We hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. And hit that follow or subscribe or whatever the button is on your podcast app to follow the podcast. The thing is, you have different verbs for different podcast platforms buttons, and then you don't know what one to use. So just subscribe to the podcast, basically. Anyway, leave a rating and comments if you would.
That would be nice.
And feel free to tell us about our terrible audio quality, because that obviously makes any difference.
Look, it happens. We know it's not the greatest, but it happens. I apologize for the terrible, at times, audio quality. It happens. That's all I'll say.
Also, I apologize for my rambliness. I hope I have at least edited it down to be concise. Thank you so much for listening in. Until next time, take care. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
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 2K's Dragcast is written, produced, and recorded by me, Guy Smith, and Andrew Blossoms, or Andrew B., with editing by Guy Smith. You can find us on our YouTube channels linked in the description. You can also find us on Twitter if you dig a little deeper, although we aren't guaranteed to be all that active on there. We are an independent production. We would be very glad to see any sort of comments, reviews, likes, and so on. Any sort of feedback is highly helpful to us, and it allows us to improve our show and understand what our audience thinks of it. Again, thank you so much for listening in, and until next time, take care. Bye now.